Okay, Aram, I think I have you. Right now, Khadija, I can't hear properly.
Same. Um, Big
Okay,
match today.
while Khadija tries to sort of fix her stream and internet, Aram and I will be continuing this match preview of the big Takra, Pakistan versus India. Um, अरे पहले तो ये बताएं कि बारिश हो रही है फिर या नहीं हो रही.
बारिश का एक्चुअली मुझे कुछ नहीं पता बिकॉज पहले तो आई वाज कम्प्लीटली कन्विंस्ड कि बारिश तो होगी और मैच वॉश आउट हो जाएगा, लेकिन
ठीक
पता
है.
नहीं इनका मीटियोरोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट या जो भी उसे कहते हैं, उनकी प्रिडिक्शन
हाँ.
80% से 20% पे आ गई ड्यूरिंग द मैच टाइमिंग्स, एंड आई थिंक इट्स एक्चुअली
Really.
गॉन डाउन इवन मोर। तो
Hmm.
देखेंगे यार, T10 भी हो जाए तो मुझे मसला नहीं, मजा तो आएगा देखने का। आई मीन द रिजल्ट विल बी लेस पेनफुल
Yeah.
एंड लेस एक्साइटिंग, बट
Yeah.
आई थिंक मैच होगा होपफुली।
Yeah.
Guys, can you see and hear me?
हाँ.
वी कैन
Yep.
वी कैन
Yep.
I changed my
अच्छा,
internet.
खदीजा आप
क्या
बताएं,
बात
व्हाट
हो
डू
रही
यू
है?
थिंक? बारिश बारिश के क्या असरात हैं? हो रही है बारिश, नहीं हो रही है, मैच हो
यार
रहा है,
मेरे को
नहीं हो
पता
रहा?
नहीं, नहीं हो रहा है। मेरी वेदर फोरकास्ट इज सेइंग 7 to 10.
आई कंप्लीटली
Aram,
एग्री
can you
विद
hear
यू।
Khadija?
नो,
No, I can't.
बट
अच्छा.
आई थिंक वो भी वेदर के ऊपर यही कह रही थी कि it probability has gone quite down, so I think that's
Hmm.
pretty good.
हाँ,
Um,
there's this article on this random Indian Express site, um, 27 minutes ago, that says that it will be a cloudy evening ahead of the match. Um, but I don't think that there will be rain. So it's most likely to hit the city during late afternoon and evening. Ho sakta hai. I don't know. I mean, you can never tell with this stuff. But anyways, let's assume it's
uh,
happening.
yeah, of
Um,
course, that is the assumption we will have to go with. Otherwise, this show and
it
anything we
ends.
do today is quite useless.
Acha.
Uh,
Um,
let's talk about
so what are
matchups.
impact players? करें.
तो सबसे पहले तो I think if we can talk about the ground which we're playing at, so MCG.
Yes.
And I'm going to bring in some pitch whiz analysis here. So let's kind of talk about um, what kind of a pitch can be expected. So pictures, man, it seems like it is a bit grassy.
Mm-hmm.
Bounce there is actually one of the lowest, one of the least bouncy pitches which the World Cup will be played on.
Okay.
मतलब अगर आप global percentiles पे लगाएं तो it is at the 52% of the percentile,
Hmm.
which is the lowest. The highest is Perth at 85%. So there's a pretty significant difference. उसके साथ साथ bounce भी अगर हम देखें तो it's not that high. 45%, it's pretty decent. मतलब पाकिस्तानी players, Indian players को फर्क तो definitely नजर आएगा. Movement definitely होगी. It's cloudy as well. I think it'll be pretty good for seamers.
स्विंग भी
And
करेगी बॉल।
और स्विंग भी करेगी, और फिर दूसरा ये अंडर लाइट्स भी होगा, तो
Hmm. Hmm.
वो भी एक एडिशनल चीज है। बट हाँ, आई डोंट थिंक, हाँ बल्कि आई थिंक के जस्ट लुकिंग एट the sheer dimensions of the ground
Ground.
काफी equal है, I think, from all sides. So I expect both spinners and fast bowlers to actually do well, क्योंकि पिछले
Yeah.
मैचेस में भी हमने देखा है कि spinners have ended up picking up a lot of wickets just because again there's no pace on the ball, और जब वो जान लगानी होती है मारने के लिए तो there's a good chance के आप लॉन्गर साइड्स पे एटलीस्ट आप फील्डर को कैच दे सकते हैं. तो I think this is pretty solid ground for a Pakistan-India match. Doesn't really, I mean, India always will have the advantage. They've played more here, they've got more experience and all, but
Yeah.
I think first order is the
Also, I think यहाँ पे ये भी कह दिया जाए कि दुनिया की सबसे लंबी स्क्वायर बाउंड्री जो है वो मेलबर्न क्रिकेट ग्राउंड की है 86.23 मीटर्स. तो अगर उसको फिर छोटा मोटा भी कर दें तो it's still like a significant like distance. I think यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा एनालिसिस ये भी करने की ज़रूरत है कि players who play on the leg side will or are leg side dominant will have quite some problem. You might not be able to see big hits, and even if you do, they might get caught on the boundary. So, and this will sort of count at the very end. अगर ये match close हुआ और आखिर में चंद runs की ज़रूरत हुई, so you can see thrillers, and you might be surprised of how something get caught, even if it seemed that it was really far away. Khadija, what are the impact players that we have? What are the matchups that we're looking at for this match?
यार honestly speaking, I will मैं पहले बहुत strategy में focus कर रही थी. Right now I'm just functioning on positive vibes only.
And nuggets.
Only positive vibes. I don't care about anything, but I'm really interested to see, of course, the main one, which is Shaheen, KL Rahul, Rohit.
Yes. Yeah, I think Shaheen, Rohit, KL Rahul. What about Naseem? Adam? Khadija might be cutting off slightly. Yeah.
Naseem, I think actually will perhaps even be more lethal than I feel like could be more lethal than Shaheen today.
Really?
Yeah, I think Shaheen's coming back from a couple of months of injury and all. So like वो expectation भी रखना इतनी early के he'll just be back and do it everything as he used to. I think Naseem has taken up that role काफी अच्छा. India के against वो 2 matches खेल चुका है actually. तो I think he'll be someone to watch out for in the first few overs. And again वो middle overs में दोबारा भी आता है तो and then even can bowl towards the death. So he's a very how do I put this?
Wait,
consistent
flexible bowler when it comes to that.
Yes.
So he can bowl
yes, Khadija.
every stage.
Okay, मैंने अपना 3G से connect कर दिया. अच्छा हाँ.
Amazing.
Bowlers. So I'm really excited because I haven't really. We saw both Shaheen and Naseem in the warm-up match against Afghanistan and in England, but I really want to see them in this particular situation as well, given how high pressure it is and the entire build-up and all. So I feel like them working in tandem will be really, hopefully, difficult to negotiate. But I hope it won't get to them because like. The environment is, like we discussed earlier on as well, right? The environment is very very non-conducive to our situation. Let's just put it that way.
I think the Indian team is preparing for our pace attack. I think Rohit ne bhi kaha tha ke we know that they have a good pace attack and will be prepared for it. I think my concerns on the Indian side would be or from the Indian side rather would be Surya Kumar Yadav performing because he's really good against pace and we've seen him play unconventional shots and completely sort of throwing the batsmen off their feet or bowlers off their feet. और मुझे लगता है कि someone like Rauf might be able to negotiate, but someone like Naseem, if he starts going for runs, then it might be really difficult for him to make a comeback in the match. I think दूसरी चीज़ ये है मेरे लिए कि शाहीन I think will be sort of informed क्योंकि उसको हमने देखा है अभी कि किसके साथ मैच था I keep forgetting अफगानिस्तान उसने 2 overs बोल किए थे right
हाँ और 2 wickets उसने
और 2 wickets ले ली थी
and he got I'm forgetting I don't think he got Gurbaz in the side
Yeah. So that sort of shows how brilliant of a form he is in, and I think it will continue hogi aaj. Surya Kumar Yadav from India side would be a definite pick for
Yeah.
me. And Rohit Sharma would also be a definite pick for me क्योंकि बड़े matches में perform कर जाता है वो. And Kohli is of course there on the
Of course.
cards always.
यार
Um,
उसके अलावा have you guys discussed the boundaries wala like the difficulty in
हाँ, we
hitting
were
number?
talking. हाँ, I think वही मैं बात कर रहा था कि it has the largest square boundary in the world.
Yeah.
So if it comes down to like the very last overs वगैरह, तो we might be able to see some surprising catches on the field because हमें लगेगा कि ये जा रहा था छक्के के लिए and it gets caught in the middle. So I think if वो किस तरह negotiate करना है आपकी placement really matters on this ground. Someone like Asif even might struggle क्योंकि उसकी like stock shot यही है कि वो leg side पे बस फेंक देता है ball को, but it
I
might
think
get caught
that-
in these circumstances.
I think that you need to value a straight shot as well on these grounds in particular. I feel like if you can get straight, और वही अगर हम मतलब obviously it's not the same grounds, but अगर qualifiers वगैरह में भी देखें तो जो straight hit कर रहे थे ना उनको फिर भी benefit मिल रहा था because to hit across the boundary it's like leg side या off side पे भी मारना it's really difficult with the kind of dimensions that this stadium has. And also the fact that we're not really used to that big dimension as well, right? So हम लोग subcontinental teams या particularly हम लोग तो इतने बड़े boundaries के used to नहीं है. Australia,
Yes.
for example, is used to these boundaries, but even they would struggle. मुझे याद है कोई ये BBL हाँ वही Big Bash का एक मैच था जिसमें हसनैन was starting his bowling and he got this guy out. I'm forgetting the player. उसने इतना फार मारा था कि like अगर UAE वगैरह होता वो 6 था, but like he got out.
Yeah.
Proper बिल्कुल brilliant. So I feel like ये बात, and also I think that I was reading a statistic somewhere where in grounds ki, like in Australia, especially Melbourne and Sydney, they have the like largest percentage of threes, I think, and like the second lowest or the lowest like percentage of like boundaries, etc. So I feel like running will also be very important, and I feel like a match changer if you can actually run twos or threes.
Yeah. मुझे कौन बता रहा था कि हाँ मुझे यार वो कहानी कौन बता रहा था मुझे उस दिन कि I don't know if it was Aram or someone and they like pavilion के ऊपर I think Wasim and Rukar were narrating the story जहाँ पर there was a fielder, मैं भूल गया उसका नाम कौन था वो
Sohail Khan.
he was Sohail Khan था वो
वो
or someone like
Charlie
he was
लगे थे.
very like he was
Yeah.
very like he had to go to the square boundary from mid
That
off.
wasn't square. It was
Point था
long off.
पॉइंट था वो उधर से भागा हाँ तो नहीं वो तो लॉन्ग ऑफ से नहीं वो लॉन्ग ऑफ से भाग रहा था पॉइंट की तरफ तो he was running towards point तो जब वहां पे पहुंचा ना फाइनली because he was not very fit and जो भी तो उसने उठा के ना बॉल बाउंड्री को लगा दी तो आगे से जब वो अंदर आया तो मिसबा ने कहा भाई तुम क्या कह रहे हो तो उसने कहा कि मैंने देखा कि 4 रन तो उन्होंने वैसे ले लिए थे they were coming back for the 5th so I just क्या कहते touched it to the boundary ताकि वो 4 ही मिल सके उनको तो I mean those are the kind of dimensions you are working with on this ground needless to say कि आपको you have to strategize and I'm sure both the sides have strategized मुझे नहीं लगता कि और also मैं ये भी कहता जाऊं कि अगर तो वहाँ पे बारिश नहीं भी हो रही लेकिन अगर बादल हैं और हवा चल रही है तो the wind plays a huge role in these boundaries खास तौर पे if you're going airborne तो कहाँ पे हवा चल रही है would matter a lot ऐसा हो सकता है आज के बहुत सारी शॉट्स आप देखें which you say कि these are definitely going beyond and the wind sort of brings them back a little into the hands of the fielder.
Yeah. No, that's really true about these boundaries. I think मैं पता नहीं किसका जब वो अभी हमारी जो ट्राई सीरीज का फाइनल था उसमें नवाज बोल रहा था कि against the wind और etc किस तरह की हम हिटिंग को कोशिश कर रहे थे being cognizant of the wind. So I guess maybe playing windy conditions में शायद it'll be I feel like जो seam or swing वगैरह है ना वो बड़ी relevant होगी, even if it doesn't rain. Just the fact that it's been raining, number one, for like a lot of days, and it is cloud cover, so वो चीज will be something that will be a little difficult, I think, for batters to negotiate, to be very honest.
Yeah.
Hmm.
अगर हम जीत गए टॉस तो हम क्या करें? Are we
That's
chasing?
exactly what I was hoping we talk about. This is you see the thing with Australia. अभी तक हमने देखा भी है, batting first team has found it difficult to chase if the score is. I mean, even on low totals, the teams have struggled. कल इंग्लैंड ने कितना struggle किया 111 अफगानिस्तान के साथ
Yeah.
chase करने में. उससे पहले भी Australia is the kind of place, according to statistics, where 160, 170 and you're in the driving seat. It's that kind
Yeah,
of
it's not an easy pitch to negotiate, and it's not an easy place to chase, I think, honestly speaking.
and I think with 150,000 people inside the stadium, you probably want to bat first, play on our strength, which is our bowling.
यार मैं बताऊं,
Yeah.
honestly speaking, नसीम की बात कह रहे थे ना, like I kept like going back to that situation where like live देखने में, और मैं ये जब मैं देख भी रही थी, I was thinking about the World Cup and I was like, this is like 20,000 people, and yeah, it is. I can't explain the environment. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
But imagine that with what, 1 लाख बंदा, उसमें से like not even like simple majority is for one particular
Indians. Yes.
yeah, basically, yeah. So like मैं वही कहती हूँ, like 95% 5% type scene होगा, और उसके
Yeah.
Throw
अंदर
back to
आपको
pre-partition India.
उफ, that's giving me more anxiety. It's like too much anxiety. Oh, बहुत scary scene होना है. I just hope the boys, you know, just दुआएं करके आए बस, और हम they know that we're here supporting them. But it's hard, man. It's really hard.
Or I mean, to also just to think that all of this, the timings of this match and all of the logistics, administrative things are based on the Indian audience. Kal SNF Taakra Nagi was sitting with us and we were recording a podcast. He's the PC media manager. तो वो हमें कह रहा था कि हमने से पूछा मैच कितने बजे, because we sort of forgot. तो he was like कि 1 बजे है. तो we were like 1 बजे क्यों है? Because usually it's like 8 or 11 or something, and then he's like, they have to pander to the Indian audience, right? Like they won't get broadcasting if they don't, and like there's 1 billion people over there, so और यार ये सारी चीजें पता है आपके दिमाग, it's very difficult as a player to tune it out. Like if you're in the center of all of these things, like आप एक होटल में जहाँ पे हर कोई मैच की बात कर रहा है, टीवी लगाते हो मैच की बात हो रही है, बाहर जाते हो मैच की बात हो रही है, बस पे चढ़ते हो, ग्राउंड में आते हो, right? Like you're absolutely surrounded by it. So how do you tune that out and just go back to your basics? How do you imagine yourself being in the nets?
I think it's really difficult, honestly speaking, and I think about, you know, sometimes मुझे like बहुत contention होती है with all the TV thing and all. I know why they're doing it. I know what they're doing. That this is the way to make money, and that's the profession, whatever. But you know, जैसे कल I think कोई press conference हुई थी बाबर की, उसके ऊपर ex cricketers के बारे में कि ये वो कह रहा है. I mean, I feel like, you know, just like you're being so negative and contentious and putting your own team down. Like grow up, literally. You इस moment में they need support. They don't need you to tell them ये भी नहीं कर सकते, अगर ये कर देता. I mean, like, come on यार, shut up. तो मैं वो भी सोच रही थी कि, you know, that those things also really play on your mind, and it's tough. I think it's kudos to them, honestly speaking. I can't imagine going to bowl when someone is booing me. Like I would lose it. Like I can't imagine that, or walking out and being booed, and it's not. Oof, मैं नहीं imagine कर सकती. So I just hope, you know, बस हमारी दुआएं हैं उनके साथ, and I hope that they can, you know, look past it, know that we're here supporting them. They're also very strong support boys.
Yeah, no, absolutely, exactly. And you know, I would definitely, if someone booed me, I would just start crying or something.
Boo them back.
My reaction is like, I would go and be like, yeah.
अच्छा पता है,
I'd go easy on them.
Yeah, देखो even if it's not like someone booing you in the ground, like इतनी ज़्यादा आवाज़ें आपको आ रही होती हैं, right? Like even if it's something like someone saying, you know, शाबा शाहीन, right? कभी कोई आपको वो चीज़ भी प्रेशर में डाल देती है कि यार like ये सारे मेरे नाम
वो
ले रहे हैं, you
आती
know, they have a
है,
lot of expectations.
उनको पहुंचती ही नहीं है कोई हमारी वाली आवाज, क्योंकि बाकी आवाज इतनी लाउड होती है, यू कांट गेट इट थ्रू.
Yes,
लाइक
yes.
जब नसीम
But
ओवर हुआ
like
किमना हसीम कर रहे थे, कोई आवाज नहीं गई उसे, बिकॉज
yeah,
दे वर लाइक पीपल हु
yeah,
वर जस्ट डूइंग दिस. तो वो पहुंचती
yeah.
भी
A
नहीं है
lot of
बेचारों
Indian crowd.
को. हाँ,
Yeah.
इट्स
Huh. But also, I feel like if you take it as a challenge and you are like, you know, okay, ठीक है, if this is becoming your home ground, then we're gonna beat them
Yeah.
on here. हमने किया है ये 2 out of 3 मैचेस में पिछले 1 साल में.
इंशाल्लाह
And
पॉजिटिव. और I very
here we go. Here goes Khadija's tantrum.
yeah.
तो वैसे how are we emotionally today? Because मुझे पता है कि how are you even talking about the match right now? Aren't you like superstitious or something?
हाँ, मैं बहुत हूँ. मैंने I felt bad for you guys. I was like, maybe it'll distract
What?
me. I was like, मैं आ जाती हूँ. I'll
Bad
just.
for us.
But मैं क्या कहते हैं, मैं बहुत ही ज़्यादा anxious हूँ, and I'm like full on, like honestly speaking, it wasn't hitting me, if that makes sense. And it wasn't hitting.
बिल्कुल.
Woke up in the morning just by myself at like 8 a.m. and I was like, shit, I'm matching. But then I've just been like this. अगर तुम लोग मुझे
Yeah.
आज सुबह, I would have probably been like, नहीं मैंने नहीं आना, मैं नहीं कर रही. कल मुझे हिट नहीं कर रहा था, I think. Then मुझे आज हिट किया. And then I went back.
मुझे नहीं करेगा until Shaheen's first ball, which I hope is the first ball of the match.
Yeah, it will be the
Well,
first
I
ball.
hope it's not, but
हाँ,
I
तुम
don't
कह रहे हो
know.
बैटिंग पहले करनी चाहिए.
हाँ,
मुझे नहीं
definitely.
पता यार.
मुझे
मुझे बस
यार हाँ, interesting. Like I feel like bowling पहले करनी चाहिए.
I mean, there's the whole
Because
thrill of the event and all, but I think हम देख भी लें, हमारी बैटिंग is still highly dependent on Babar and Riz.
and statistically they
And
do better batting second.
yeah.
they
Is
do,
what
they
we
do,
know.
they do. I get that completely. But मुझे
Yeah.
बस ऐसा लग रहा है कि batting second it might just get a bit difficult because, and of course this is all just my answer based on feelings
Yeah.
and assumptions, which is
on
basically batting second will be a lot of pressure, and India have the batting lineup के वो at least slightly above par manage कर जाएंगे शायद. ठीक है, like 150
Yeah.
in UAE is very different to 150 here.
Yeah.
And क्रिक विज अगर आप खोलें तो उन्होंने एक हर टीम के ऊपर एक पीस किया, and one of the piece was actually to beat Pakistan you need to score only slightly above par. To beat India, however, you need to score a little more than that, well over par. I
Yes.
think we have a better chance putting a score on the board and then letting our bowlers have a go. But अगर bowling पहले कर लेते हैं तो I think we might struggle chasing even like a 160 total for that reason.
I like मैं ये कहूँगी कि honestly speaking in these matches I don't even think about statistics because it defies statistics. Honestly speaking, they're so contentious. The environment is so different that you can't predict anything. You can't predict if batting first will do good, bowling first will do good. I mean, like जो मैंने match देखा था, we batted abysmally and batted first, but वो last ball तक गया था, and थोड़े से factors से we could have won that match. So
Yeah.
like the factors I feel like don't even interplay there, and I do think that we like to chase more. We're more comfortable with chasing, but also मुझे नहीं पता, but I also feel आपके bowlers of course world class bowlers, but जितना pressure होता है ना, और मतलब आपके पास अगर एक particular score defend करने को तो वो pressure और ज़्यादा exaggerate होता है. So
और वो
मैं
फील्डर्स पे भी आ जाता है ज़्यादा, आई वुड से
हाँ
चेस
तो
का प्रेशर फील्डर्स पे भी बहुत ज़्यादा आ जाता है।
exactly. So
वही है।
या
I don't know what is the right answer to this. If you ask me, like, man, I get it, but I feel like in these situations, in these circumstances, with these teams, it's just anyone's guess. You can't
हाँ
predict कि अगर हुआ तो ये अच्छा हो जाएगा, या अगर मतलब एक पर्टिकुलर मैच में सूर्य कुमार यादव ने 80 की है तो वो 80 फिर से कर
इसमें भी
देगा.
80 करेगा, एग्जैक्टली।
Yeah.
या
So you can't
हाँ
tell. They're people, and like हर टीम की particular time होता है play का. So
या
I don't know. Like no one
या
predicted कि New Zealand Australia को इस तरह हराएगा yesterday, but they did.
यस
मतलब
यस
इस
Yeah, well,
तरह
that was
हराया.
some match. Some match.
Yeah.
there's also this other thing which is कि अगर क्लाउड कवर हुआ, जो कि हमें ये तो फॉर श्योर पता है कि मैच के स्टार्ट में होगा, बिकॉज दिस लाइक एज वी गेट क्लोजर टू द मैच वी कैन से दैट विद सर्टेनिटी. हमें ये नहीं पता कि मैच के एंड तक क्या सूरत हाल होगी. आई फील लाइक द बॉलर शुड कम्प्लीटली मैक्सिमाइज देयर यूज ऑफ द क्लाउड कवर, क्योंकि बॉल मूव करेगी फिर हवा में. And that might be conducive bowling conditions. That would almost become like a New Zealand-esque or an England-esque ground or wicket, and we do well there. अगर क्लाउड कवर जरा सा भी होता है, हमारे बॉलर्स इस तरह के हैं. शाहीन की तो वैसे ही कर रही होती है स्विंग, बट आई थिंक you will definitely see a lot of swing. Like जो भी पहले bowling करेगा, you will definitely see like balls going down the leg side, और फिर the bowler sort of getting used to how much the ball is moving.
Yeah.
तो वो एक बहुत खतरनाक चीज़ हो सकती है. अगर हम पहले बैटिंग कर लेते हैं तो I don't know, I feel like we might just buckle under the initial pressure. Even like, look, not a lot of things get Babar and Rizwan out, but naturally good balls do, and the chance of those good balls being bowled is at the very beginning of this match, of this day, because of the cloud cover and because of the swing that it will sort of entail. तो मुझे लगता है कि अगर इस तरह हुआ तो Babar and Riz can get out to good balls if they decide to bat first. Yeah, if they are put to bat first.
Yeah. Honestly speaking, इतना वो नहीं है UAE में जो toss, वो वाला I don't know क्या है such, but I do agree with you. I feel as though batting first might be more tricky than batting second in these situations, because it's not a typical typical for them, I guess, but like it's not a typical weather conditions.
हाँ धूप नहीं है, वो वाला ऑजी सीन नहीं है बिल्कुल भी.
हाँ, it is difficult to even, and speaking इतने T20s हुए भी नहीं है कि आप कोई statistics पे भी जा सको कि what's a good total, what's a bad total. It's like what 10 हुए हैं MCG में. But yeah, I'm also really interested on because Haris ka, this is like his home ground, so I'm really interested to see how he even performs.
Yeah,
he's gotten a hat trick here, I think.
Yep.
Yes. BBL. Yeah.
BBL. See how
Yeah.
he does.
Haris is super impressive. I think two people who sort of get clouded under their better or their more flamboyant counterparts are Rizwan and Haris. Rizwan getting clouded under Babar, of course, because Babar is much more flashy and the poster boy, and Rauf under Shaheen because again more flashy poster boy.
Flashy poster boy. What is that?
Sorry.
But
Can't hear you. Babar is the poster boy for cricket, right? For Pakistan cricket, Babar hai.
Rightfully so.
I can hear you. But someone like Rizwan gets sort of shadowed under because statistically he's much better.
I don't think now Rizwan is getting overshadowed by Babar at all. I think they're both treated as Rizwan and Babar to a certain extent.
Really? Yeah, I think easily. मुझे तो हमेशा लगता है कि Babar has all the attention. Like how many times is Riz trending and how many times is Babar trending? Like Babar पिछले एक हफ्ते से बस trend कर रहा है. आज भी कर रहा है.
I feel number one, he's the captain as one. Rizwan came at a particular time, but Babar has been carrying it for a while. So you have to give that to that player. And yeah, I have an unabashed Babar bias. I don't give two shits about.
हो सकता है, हाँ, I can see that. Uh,
who I don't care. I love Riz as well. It's Riz for me, but I
yeah.
think that both of them, the reason for each of their success or each of their work or whatever is because they complement one another. I don't want to be at the level that Rizwan is at if Babar didn't compliment him, or vice versa as well, especially in T20
Yeah.
cricket.
Hmm.
You can get
Interesting
correct.
take. Interesting take.
Complement each other to such an extent that they both bring out particular performances from each other. But अच्छा guys, अब मेरी ना anxiety का next level हो रहा है, तो या तो conversation बंद करो या मैं जा रही हूँ, क्योंकि I want to now. It's like 37 and I'm getting really anxious. Now
There's
it's
still a lot of time.
There's still 1.5 घंटा है अभी तो.
हाँ, 1.5 घंटा
भाई
पड़ा हुआ है. तुम 1.5 घंटे क्या करोगी?
you have to meditate. Okay.
I love how she's shouting, but we can't hear the shouting, which is sort of good.
Yeah, I think that's great.
क्या करोगी तुम 1.5 घंटा?
Wait. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
देखा, when you're calm, we can hear you.
हाँ.
And
I think ये कोमल ने कोई setting की है.
typical male behavior.
Chauvinism जो है ना हमारा, we're wearing it on the sleeve.
मतलब woman speaks थोड़ा सा loud.
StreamYard's being extremely chauvinistic, I think.
Yeah,
StreamYard is sexist.
Sexist. For shame.
For shame. Achha, but yeah, I mean, I feel like right now in this time when Shaheen wasn't here, Harris has got like a way to really express himself even more without that in hair. So, which I'm really glad has happened. Even though I love having Shaheen, Shaheen is like Jan, and I love watching him bowl. I didn't want him out of the team, but yeah, I guess I don't know, man. मुझे नहीं पता. मेरा तो सिर्फ vibes है अभी. Like I am just on. Oh, the क्या?
Yes. Someone saying 160, 170 would be a good total if we bat first? Question mark.
I think so.
Yeah, I think 170 though would be very ideal.
I think that our bowl.
170
Hopefully.
would be ideal.
Oh God. Oh God.
नंबर
Yes,
लगा
hopefully.
दी मैं इसने.
बस
नहीं.
देख लो. खदीजा क्या की है? यार हाँ, मेरा ख्याल है काफी होनी चाहिए 170 अगर बना जाएं, और that's I think we should aim for 180. वो करके वो इंटेंशन से जाएंगे तो फिर कुछ ना कुछ बनेगा. Intent. अच्छा, Haris, yeah, I agree with Khadija's analysis on Haris, although I disagree with her on Rizwan. But Haris,
मैंने ये भी नहीं कहा कि Rizwan is an amazing player. I love Rizwan. I think he's
hate Rizwan.
Speaks for himself. Yeah, I love Rizwan and I think he's exceptionally good. That both of them complement each other really well. This is for the people who are trying to break them apart. So I'm saying they both complement each other. That is what I say.
I just don't buy it.
I think Rizwan is I think Khadija is right when she says that Rizwan is a mediocre player.
Yeah.
Yes, I am too.
No, we're kidding. We're kidding.
Rizwan is the best.
I think she's saying she will kill us both. So let's go to Haris.
Let's go to impact players today. The pillars, which will
the pillars, as Shoaib Akhtar would call them. Yeah, nahi, dekho, Haris I think is a good start. Haris hoga death overs, man. He's been so good. He's been so good so far. I agree with Khadija कि शाहीन की absence में उसको जो space मिला है, वो एक बहुत crucial space था. उसने पूरा utilize किया उसको. And he's become like the spearhead of the Pakistan bowling for a long time. Like a considerable amount of time until Shaheen was gone. और ये बहुत अच्छी चीज़ होती है कि आपके पास अगर दो spearheads of bowling एक वक्त पे खेल रहे हो, क्योंकि वसीम वकार टाइप हो या even जो West Indian bowling fast bowling lineup था, आपको नहीं पता था spearhead कौन है, because all of them were so dominant and all of them were like so passionate. और मुझे लगता है कि इस वक्त फर्स्ट इन कमांड दोनों शाहीन और हारिस रऊफ हैं,
Yeah.
and there can be nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Who are your three pillars for this match? Khadija?
3 pillars from Pakistan.
Pillars,
Acha.
yes, pillars.
From Pakistan.
Every
Yeah,
like Babar
from Pakistan. Yeah.
वो
Yeah.
बाबर को करिए. All of them are
Any
match winners.
name any three
हाँ.
players which you think will stand out from either side.
either side kya? Only our side. What are you
हाँ
saying? Should
हाँ
follow.
Pakistan Zindabad. Pakistan
हाँ.
Zindabad. Sorry.
क्या
यार
नींद खुद हो
नहीं
जाके
नहीं
अपना
यार देखो मैं बताता हूँ.
हमारे बहुत इंडियन फैन वैसे मत करो.
मैं एक हूँ इंडियन फैन उनमें से, बहुत इंडियन फैंस में से. यार पाकिस्तान में से आई थिंक फॉर श्योर वो यार इम्पैक्टफुल प्लेयर्स बाबर होगा, शाहीन होगा और रजिया हारिस कर लो, इन दोनों में से कोई एक कर लो, ठीक है. और इसी तरह इंडिया में से मेरा ख्याल है सूर्या कुमार यादव होगा, विराट होगा, और बॉलर्स में yeah, I don't know, could be anyone's day, but I won't rate a bowler as an impact player for now. For India, I think we can go to Rohit.
Yeah. For me, Pakistan में अगर हम देखें तो I think up front, I feel like Naseem will be. I would actually say he could possibly have a better day than Shaheen.
Interesting.
Even. My second pick is Nawaz because I think I have a feeling they're going to send him up again. Well, I hope they do. उसकी वजह ये है
आपको भी
कि
भेजें शायद.
India is probably going to send Harshal and get spinners in the middle as well. Pandya might get a few overs and that
Patel
I think
very
Huh?
good. Harshal Patel
yeah
जो है ना
yeah
death bowler, very good.
yeah exactly but I think they'll use Nawaz to counter both the spin of Harshal and Pandya's fast bowling because I think ये
Hey,
दोनों
the pacer.
sorry दोनों
हाँ.
के को counter
हाँ.
करने के लिए sorry Nawaz is a good player of fast bowling.
Pace.
So he will. I think they'll use Harshal or Pandya ke against. They might use him in the middle. And and the third one will be. The third one will of course be the death bowler who's playing on his home ground, Haris Rauf.
Of course.
I don't have anyone. I am just everyone is superstar. Everyone is winner. I don't know
11
man.
match winners. Babar भी यही कहता है.
Babar कहता है 11 match winners. I follow what Babar says. I don't have anyone. But I think
By the way, what's your 11 as well? Like 11 में तुम्हारे ख्याल से मतलब फखर तो is not playing today that we know. Shan will be in. Shan is fit. So Babar, Riz और Shan तक तो order हमारा kind of set है. Who do you see coming in after that?
it depends on if you have like 3 pacers or 4 pacers, right? If you're going with 4 pacers, then
What do you think they'll do?
Four pacers.
I think 4. I think that should be 4 in my opinion because I feel team is very underrated. I feel like he plays really well. He's been performing well. और वो ना जो ये deck को hard hit करता है ना, और aims for the stumps. He does get a lot of return from that. Like it would be the same if it isn't, because then you have to choose between Heather and Iftikhar. I think that's the two things that I would be probably in their minds. If they're 4 pacers, so it's either or between them. But agar 4 pacers nahi hai, to then it would be Heather and Iftikhar. And I think that what the 4th position jo hai na, wo unhone aisi ki hui hai ki it is either Shadab Nawaz based on the situation, and then you have Heather 5, Iftikhar at 6, and then Asif at 7, and then you have your pick. So I think that's how they're looking at it. And I think all these trial and errors have helped them kind of see ke kiska kis area mein lag raha hai, kya who is working in what particular area, who isn't working in particular areas. Jaise Iftikhar ko on bhejne mein, I don't think he's fully utilized. I feel like he gets underutilized. He does have that hitting capacity. कभी-कभी 6 मारे मैं what where did that come from? But so I feel like he does have that capacity, but he's not utilized when he's coming early on because I don't think he wants to build innings or lead it. I think he wants to get type vibes. So I think उस number पे उसको आगे करेंगे और Heather is also able to hit. So on paper I think
Definitely.
nothing that.
Yeah.
Oh, what were we saying?
Go on. No, I wasn't saying.
नहीं मैं ये कहती कि on paper I think that this would be the particular thing, but if they take 4 pacers then it would be, they have to decide between Iftikhar or Heather, because what Iftikhar, he gives the off spin option as well, so there is that too, which has in recent matches been pretty instrumental.
I go with 4 pacers, and I think Nawaz will be very critical in the bowling as well, because India also do struggle. They'll play every other spinner well except left arm spinners. उनके साथ आप देखें तो उनके बैटर्स की थोड़ी कम है एवरेजेस और स्ट्राइक रेट्स, एंड नवाज आई थिंक पिछले 2 मैचेस आप निकाल लें, he's gotten 4 wickets for about 58 runs in the last 8 overs जो एशिया कप ने इंडिया को कराया उसने, which is pretty, like that's almost under 6 की economy. So I think that's pretty. That's why I think Nawaz will be very, very key here.
Yeah, I also feel like Nawaz and Shadab, both of them are very, smart operators. Like they're not. I don't know how to explain it, but they really do think through. Agar if one thing isn't working, they're just not going to keep doing that. They will try to change. They will try to tweak certain things. So I feel like they're smart bowlers in that regard, which makes them difficult to negotiate as well. But India can like good bowlers. I think Shami will be very interesting to negotiate. In my opinion.
Also, I didn't mean Harshal when I said Harshal. I meant Akshar.
Akshar, yeah.
Akshar ki spin. Yeah.
Akshar is also good. But it's gonna be. I
do feel like on paper we are much better than India. Bowling is where they. Bowling is where India sort of lags. Yani kaun hai? Bowling is like, look, they can, and this happens sometimes, if you have a relatively weaker bowling lineup compared to your opponent, you then do well because you're just basing it on strategy, right? कि अच्छा आप बहुत according to the plan चलते हो, आपकी line और line बहुत खींची भी होती है, आप talent पे rely नहीं कर रहे होते, आप सारे plans पे rely कर रहे होते हो. Vibes नहीं होती हैं आपकी, आप बस, और अगर आपके पास बहुत अच्छा है तो आप vibes भी होते हो, तो कभी कभार आप इधर उधर निकल जाते हो. लेकिन having said that, I think India's bowling lineup, and India knows this, is not up to par with the Pakistani bowling lineup. And if I compare the batting lineups, I will say that Pakistan's batting lineup is up to par with India's batting lineup. And udhar I think जो खतीजा ने बात की कि Nawaz and Shadab are not only strategic good operators when it comes to bowling, they're also very good at pacing their batting innings. Like Asif would be someone like who's just going to go for a 6. Nawaz ज़रूरी नहीं है सिर्फ उस तरह का, right? Like you will see him taking singles. Or Shadab is so seasoned with PSL and everything that he knows how to play that number 4 position if push comes to shove.
Yeah, and I feel like वही होता है कि on paper when we see it, right, our team is very mashallah, very strong. It's just about in that moment what happens, because it's not just the paper thing, right? It's also the, like मैं बार-बार ये कह रही हूँ environment, because I don't feel like हम लोग understand भी नहीं कर सकते कि कितनी crazy environment है. और उस moment I feel like 1 second का आपका set out आ जाए ना, और you nick something, or it's gone, or whatever, right? It just takes one second, or that one noise or something, I don't know. So I know they're and they've been in this situation, but I'm just, be empathetic, and I'm just positive only. Like,
I'm very concerned about one thing, and that's the fielding. Like I've seen कल परसों हमने मैचेस में देखा New Zealand की क्या कमाल फील्डिंग थी, इंग्लैंड की क्या कमाल फील्डिंग थी.
मैं उसका
Phillips उड़ रहा था.
Glenn Phillips,
Phillips, yeah,
उड़ रहा था वो.
How does this work?
He was
Yeah.
before. Like वो
Yeah,
side
yeah.
catch किया उसने यही
या
नहीं
एब्सोल्युटली। और यार ये इन दोनों टीम्स का, न्यूजीलैंड और इंग्लैंड का, दोनों का ऑस्ट्रेलिया में खेलने का ज़्यादा तजुर्बा है, तो ऑफ कोर्स वो भी है, लेकिन आई थिंक जनरली देयर बेटर फील्डिंग साइड्स एज वेल, बट आई थिंक पाकिस्तान, with the kind of stadium that the game is being played in, big World Cup match in the MCG, fielding is going to be the real concern, because it doesn't matter how good Shaheen or Naseem or Haris bowl, if catches
Yeah.
are going to be dropped, if misfields are going to happen.
वैसे मैं
तो
this is a
वार्म अप
very
गेम्स में हमारा कोई अच्छा नहीं रहा, just by the way.
हाँ
तो
मैं बात कहूँगी इस बारे में कि I feel like with India for some reason, at least with our current group of boys, they have this need to prove themselves, if that makes sense. And this like very strong need to prove themselves. तो उस moment में ना उन पे I hope that sticks, right? But एक वो नहीं होता कि like your doubt kind of gets clouded when you're just in that need कि हम करेंगे like उस type की vibe. वो मुझे लगता है कि फील्डिंग का वही बात है ना कि या मुझे खुद बहुत कंसर्न है फील्डिंग का ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग बट जिस तरह की जो इश्यूज हो रहे हैं इट सीम्स मोर लाइक नर्व्स और स्ट्रेस के वो सेल्फ डाउट क्रीप इन करता है और उस मोमेंट में गिर जाता है बट आई फील आई एटलीस्ट आई होप कि दे कीप दैट वो एक जुनून सा कि नहीं all of these people are here to say that we're not going to win. We screw it. And
Yes.
I hope that they get one and get that because I understand यार बड़े grounds it's not easy to field on them. मतलब imagine इतना ज़्यादा भागना दौड़ना करना it's not easy. But I don't know. I'm just positive vibes. Like I will say again, only positive vibes in here. In
guys,
my
I want
room.
to show you something.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen.
If it's The Rock again, I'm not going to be interested.
Why
I don't.
was that
It's
real
better
though?
than oh yeah, that was real. That was real. That was real.
That was
What?
I did.
That's so crazy. That's so
Like
crazy.
Amriki's don't
Unbelievable.
even cricket. Where did that come
Yeah,
from?
yeah, they
And
don't even know what cricket is. Like the word does not exist in their vocabulary. उनको नहीं पता कि game क्या होती है. हाँ, now they do. Like, एक minute, let me add this to stream. क्या कर रहे हो?
ये क्या है?
What is he doing?
Oh, it's if they
He's about to
touch
say. Yes.
तेरी से रंग बनाऊंगा और खेलूंगा बगैर टेंशन के दाव का चैंपियन
Yeah.
So
Oh, दागों का champion.
दागों का
दागों का.
आवाज ही नहीं
दागों
आई.
का वो कह रहेगा तेजी से रन्स मारूंगा और रिलैक्स होके खेलूंगा.
Why are we watching an ad though? ये शेयर किस तरह किया तुमने screen रखो?
अच्छा श्रीलंका तो
Sri Lanka is going to win, yeah.
आयरलैंड से जीत गया.
जीत गए हैं. Okay,
श्रीलंका
match is over.
का श्रीलंका का क्या सीन है?
117 for World Cup. Yeah, pretty easy. Guess who's at the ground today? The great cricketer is there.
Who?
Of course they are. Great cricketers का पता है तुम्हें? Khadija. They're like they're like cricket podcast. Yeah.
I know. जो Australian podcaster, right?
Yeah.
हाँ.
They had some really good stuff. Like मैं Elise Perry के साथ उनका सुन रहा था.
Yeah,
podcast.
पता.
कौन सा वाला?
Harsha वाला कितना अच्छा था.
Harsha वाला भी बहुत अच्छा था. That's true.
In bed with Zampa, that was really good.
Yeah, हाँ, like.
Have you seen the one they did with Haris? That was
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah.
हाँ. Haris वाला. Yeah.
We're 4 minutes away from 1 hour of the match, so
उसको तुम शुरू कर दो, तुम उसको फिर शुरू हो जाएगी वो anxiety.
4 minutes actually, if you think about it.
To talk about the seconds, tell me how many seconds to elapse.
Sri Lanka.
They needed 4 runs, right?
They won.
3,780.
No wickets.
Okay.
Yeah, good year. I'm happy for Sri Lanka. I think Sri Lanka might be one team that can cause upsets. They beat England in the. I mean, it was the one-day World Cup. Lekin England उसमें भी काफी strong.
They already caused us upset. Okay, don't talk about
well,
that.
I wouldn't say that was an upset.
That's true.
They were.
Can we look at? Can
Char-
we before we calm down? Before we part ways, can we look at Momin Saqib reels? Like two of them, जो उसने अभी upload किए हैं.
Yes.
Arim, can you please share your screen or somehow
Yeah, give me a
show
second.
us what that man is doing? क्योंकि उसकी वाइब बिल्कुल डिफरेंट है खतीजा से इस वक्त. खतीजा की वाइब है पैनिक कोई बात ना करे, और उसकी वाइब होती है हम जीत रहे हैं, ये देखो जीत गए हम.
Just give me a
I-
second.
I made a positive air, but I'm very anxious.
Yeah. I think on a scale of Khadija to Momin Saqib, we are somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the
Your
middle.
podcast.
Yeah. So, okay, he's put up some really good stuff.
He's entertaining, man. This is funny.
Okay, so I'm going to share. Tell me when you can see it.
Share, please. मेरे nuggets.
I'm adding to screen. तुम्हारे nuggets खत्म हो गए?
नहीं, मैंने खाए
या
नहीं.
ना
ओ भाई खा लो.
खा लो.
आती हूँ. अब वो साइड पे.
Okay, what is it?
हम मेलबर्न में हैं और पाकिस्तान इंडिया का मैच 40 मिनट में शुरू होने लगा. बारिश नहीं हुई और हम मैच खेलेंगे. आज मैच
I don't know how I'm different from him. He's also
सही सुन.
हाँ, there is a
यार बहुत ट्रैफिक है, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही. कैब भी नहीं मिल रही, रोडें भी ब्लॉक है. मैच शुरू होने लगा. क्या करें, किस तरह जाए? कोई मुझे लेके जा सकता है आप लोगों में से? कोई नहीं दे सकता यार. प्लीज मैं मैच देखने बहुत दूर से आया हूँ. यार कोई किस तरह जाए? लेट हो रहे हैं यार. यार बहुत ट्रैफिक है, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही. कैब भी नहीं मिल रही, रोडें.
Amazing.
relatable.
बहुत सारे बाइक्स को मैच में हमने ऐलान कर दिया. कल पाकिस्तान की जीत के बाद है. ऐसा उनको रास्ते बदल मेलबर्न की तरफ दबाया जाएगा.
What is going on?
तुम कैप्शन
ये-
पढ़ी तुमने उस वाली पोस्ट की?
ये मेरी फेवरेट नहीं.
अभी से दोहा पे
ये बात-
सेलिब्रेशन शुरू हो गई है. पाकिस्तान 23 का मैच जीत के लोगों को पहले से पता चल गया है. और जीत गए 23 का मैच. पाकिस्तान जीत गया.
What?
अब देखना एंड देखना.
जीत गए. 23 का मैच जीत गए.
The end is the best part.
अभी से दोहा पे सेलिब्रेशन शुरू.
Oh my
So
God. That cheered me up.
I think we won the tournament.
हाँ, that's what you feel like when you open his Insta. आपको लगता है बस
So we
हम
will.
जीत गए.
We can and we will.
We will. Indeed.
Oh,
Indeed.
मेरा
you
सिर्फ
should sponsor us.
मेरा सिर्फ ये I don't care how, I don't care, I don't care when, I do care when and where, but I don't care how. But this is coming home. I don't care. किस तरह जीते, गिर के जीते.
अगर
घर आ-
मैनकेट करके जीत जाए खदीजा,
हाँ? क्या?
अगर मैनकेट करके जीत जाए तो
That's
तुम
not
एक्सेप्ट
even
कर लोगी?
Our boys are too nice, man. They wouldn't
It's
do
a
that.
run out. Stop calling it a man.
Sorry, a run out.
Yeah?
Run.
हाँ.
Run out. Run out.
Run out.
And I think if Babar lifts the
Goodbye.
trophy,
I am going.
I'm voting for him as the next prime minister.
Who?
If Babar
Khadija.
lifts the trophy.
Khab?
If ba-
ख्वाब नहीं है, हकीकत है.
क्या वो मेरी कान थोड़े से ऑफ है क्या?
Babar lifts the trophy.
हाँ, yes, it's coming home. Bas, my mom has taught
Okay,
me that
Khadija.
positive vibes. You have seen her. Positive vibes.
Yes.
That
Yes.
I'm just stick to that.
She was more distressed than any of us during that match we went to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. But देखो हम लोग, I mean, like अभी she hasn't, like she's been watching with me a lot since I started, but उनका तो वो 90s fanatic वाली vibe है, मतलब तो
Yeah.
वो अंदर से निकलता है. वो she's been up since 8 and she's like मुझे इतनी palpitations हो रही है. मैंने कहा क्यों? He's like मुझे लगता है की वजह से हो रही है. मैंने कहा हाँ same. तो
You should bring her on the show someday because I feel like
I agree. I absolutely agree.
हाँ,
yeah, you
She should be on the show.
and we can definitely help.
हाँ
Haan.
on it. So, okay guys, goodbye.
Okay, guys.
See you
Okay,
after we
Khadija.
see you guys.
I hope we
Bye.
have a good and a close match. Goodbye.
ओए क्लोज क्या कह रहे हो? क्या
Bye-bye.
बकवास कर रहा है? I don't have the mental capacity.